As the world grows in population and prosperity, we're going to need a lot more of this stuff. At the same time, we need to dramatically reduce emissions. If only we could stop emitting so much carbon and put it to use somewhere.
Like in this brick?
If we're going to dramatically lower emissions, we've got to have a concrete plan. Get it? Concrete plan? Never mind.
This great big story is by BP. Fewer emissions, more energy. This is the Global Energy Challenge.
Concrete. It's built everything from Hadrian's Wall to the very foundations that support this lady and her whole city. But its production and use also emits up to 8% of the world's total emissions. 8%? That's a big deal. The human love affair with concrete can be traced back as far as 6500 BC. But it was the Romans who really ran with it, creating their world-building cement out of volcano ash, and made stuff like this, and this. And here's that Hadrian again, this time with the Pantheon. Show off. But as Rome fell, the recipe for this empire-building, continent-conquering group was lost to the ages, only to be reinvented 180 years ago by this guy and his handlebar mustache.
You know, it's a market that's a few thousand years old that really has been making concrete the same way for a couple of hundred years.
BP Henry is a privately held family company, fourth generation. The company was known for innovation regarding architectural block design for schools and hospitals and universities, which we're still doing today.
Every time that traditional Portland cement is manufactured, you make a ton of CO2. Concrete's already the second most used material on the planet after water. And with urbanization and growing population, more of it's going to get used, not less of it.
So what exactly is the concrete making process?
If you look at bread and concrete, they have a lot in common. Basically, anywhere in the world, use essentially the same raw materials.
You have flour, eggs, and sugar, and you have milk.
When you make concrete, you've got rocks, you got sand, you got water.
But with Solidia, you use the CO2.
Can I talk about my brick now?
Go ahead, Vahid.
I invented a cement that can reduce the carbon footprint of concrete by 70%. And the idea came to me here.
Where all the greatest innovations begin, right?
Vahid's innovation was figuring out how to mimic Mother Nature and make it in a synthetic way that allowed us to have much greater impact.
I can take that CO2, put it in my concrete, and it's no longer CO2, it's all gone.
So Solidia concrete is made using CO2 instead of water? Let's take a closer look.
CO2 molecule, it's quite stable, but when it goes into water, the molecular structure, it starts getting distorted, and then it makes it reactive. And when it sees a calcium ion in the water, in the solution, your pH is high enough, so it will precipitate calcium carbonate, and you will keep consuming this CO2.
Okay, give us the simple version, Tom.
We effectively take it, rip it apart, put it back together as something that's not ever coming out again.
Today, we're able to run Solidia on this line right here, or when we produce 1,000 square feet of pavers with Solidia cement. That's the equivalent of someone planting 420 trees. That's how impactful it is. It is a better cement for a better planet.
The CO2 used in Solidia bricks comes from places like whiskey distilleries and breweries, which would otherwise be released into the air. But just imagine if the CO2 came from other industries.
You know, BP has been an important part of our board from the beginning, not only in helping us, get the startup moving as a company, but also helping us think about the carbon market, helping us think about the different sources of CO2.
Concrete is the second largest consumed material on Earth after water. We are talking about 4 billion tons of cement worldwide, annual production. So what we are doing here in Solidia, I think it will be an important component of the climate challenge.
This carbon-eating concrete really could make a big impact. Well done, team. Here's to helping build a better future.